My name is Lynette Roberts. I'm Director of Captivating Training Solutions, and this training has been funded by Community Pharmacy Lancashire. Now, you're watching this video because you're looking to expand your pharmacy capacity, and one of the areas that might be affecting your business is what's called defects. So defects is all about, something's went wrong and there's been a mistake happen, so there's been an error, and we know that mistakes cost time and money. Now, you may have identified through the time wastage audit that defects is an issue for you. And if you don't know what the time wastage audit is, then you need to go into Community Pharmacy Lancashire's website and you might find out, is there a key area for you? And if you actually look at the questions or statements that we're asking you on defects, it can help you diagnose some key areas of your business that might be affecting your capacity. So let's use some examples of how you can overcome defects and help expand your capacity and get some more of your time back. Because like I said, mistakes cost time and money. So the way that you can help yourself with this is to keep records. We need insights, we need data to know what mistakes are costing us time and money. So those mistakes might be things like near misses. So this is why we have a near miss log. But how much do you use that log? Now, I'm not saying that you fail to put that information in, but do you fail to reflect on that information? I've seen pharmacies really pull back their capacity or really expand it because they've used that information. Because like I said, those mistakes cost them time. So by using those insights, let's say there are two key insights you can get from this, that there's common products where this happens. And examples I've seen in the past is where certain boxes, like say from a manufacturer, are designed the same way, and so it can be quite confusing, particularly if it starts with the same letter. Then mistakes are going to happen, particularly if we're dealing with a huge workload and we're trying to process things super quick and we're moving quick, more mistakes are going to happen. So examples of solutions around that is where if it's a common area, common product, that what I've seen pharmacies do is wherever you store that product, they put either some form of label, something that catches your attention and makes you do a double check before you go to take it off the shelf. And it uses that insight to help reduce those errors from happening again. But let's say as part of your near miss log, hopefully what you also take down is the person that happened the near miss with. So with that, if it's the same person, and obviously if you get fewer staff members, it might be very few staff members that are going to be involved. But if you find out it's somebody in particular, that can help give you a lot of insight as well. Now, this isn't about blame. Like if you find out that they're actually having more frequent near misses, then it's all about being curious. It's not about blame, like this is unacceptable, you're having more of these near misses and it's costing me time and it's dangerous for the patient. It's about a culture where it's all about learning rather than being hard on someone. So how would you use this? Now, if someone is making frequent mistakes or more frequent mistakes, this can give us a lot of insight because it could be a sign that their mental health has been impacted. And there are a lot of pharmacy staff out there that are really struggling with mental health or mental ill health, depression, anxiety, burnout, and all that can affect your capacity to think clearly and to safely dispense prescriptions. So if you do identify someone, the first questions I would be asking is, how are they in themselves, their well-being, how are they coping? And then for to ask them, like, why do you think there's more frequent errors? Again, you ask it in a way that makes them not feel like it's an accusation. It's more like a curious, like, is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything that you think, like, is the way that we stock the products? But getting them involved and finding a fix of it. But that's how we can use those records of monitoring where things go wrong to help us. Let's look at another example of a defect that has been affecting pharmacies' time, and that is with the recent inception of the Community Pharmacy GP-CPCS service, and that's because of irrelevant referrals. So say you've got someone that comes through to your pharmacy through the GP-CPCS, yay, and then you find out actually they shouldn't have been referred in the first place. This is completely out with community pharmacy's comfort zone. They really need to see a GP, and so that person gets bounced back. So that's time consuming for you. It doesn't always give you the full consultation, so it's a waste of the patient's time, but also potentially a waste of your time. But through the insights in that, it can help us realise, is it the training of the staff that are doing the triaging? Did they not know that they weren't supposed to refer those kind of patients? So there are examples by getting insights can help us find efficiencies. And the last example I want to give you of defects or where something goes wrong is it's like a lack of communication or miscommunication that leads to mistakes. Now, this can be in a lack of delegation or even in instruction. I have seen a lot of pharmacies that are going through quite a lot of staff turnover, staff shortages, and so it might be people moving into processes that are out with their comfort zone, and so they're more likely to make mistakes. It's through getting all these insights that can really help us. So it is about being curious, that if you find mistakes happening, being curious as to why they happen. Could it be that you're not communicating well enough, that that person made a mistake because maybe they weren't trained effectively, they weren't shown how to do it, they didn't know what to do? So these are examples of how defects can steal our time, but you can expand your pharmacy capacity by doing that bit of a diagnosis, being curious, asking questions, and then trying to find solutions. But my advice to you in finding solutions is involve your pharmacy team, work with them to say, guys, this is a common problem I've found, with mistakes that are happening. What do you think we can do about this? And you're more likely to get that buy-in. So I hope some of the information we've shared with you on this has been helpful, got you to maybe do a bit of reflection on how mistakes in your pharmacy could be affecting your capacity. Thank you so much for your time to watch this video, and thank you to Community Pharmacy Lancashire for funding the training.